Dun, 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 dun. This is episode 8, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to double check. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's somewhere in the single digit, eight.
Yes.
Yeah, 8 or something. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And the topic today is
Compliance.
compliance. For instance, we had not prepared how we are going to introduce this topic, but I did this and I gave a silence. And you were and then
I complied.
you complied.
Yeah.
So I think in our lives, whether or not we like it, there are opportunities where we comply without us actually realizing that we are complying. So we could even start our discussion at that point. And why I've been thinking, or we've been thinking about compliance, is also because sort of where we are, at least where I am. Recently, I've been more or less self-diagnosed as being in ASD, that spectrum, neurodivergent, or ADHD, or whatever, or a combination or two, or whatever. Sorry, research is still happening. But somehow, when things are actually put on paper and you realize, oh shit, this is actually you, or this is actually your situation, it sort of points out to the struggle that we've been going through for all these years. And I think that struggle is also coming mainly because we have been asked to belong in a box, like literally
Comply.
this tiny space, exactly. Yeah, in that box, and say, this is where you belong, this is what you're expected to do, so do. So it's, how do I say?
So, I mean, there's a lot of compliance, consciously or unconsciously, imposed by society and by your near and dear ones and your friends and everybody. Setting expectations, say, this is the way it's supposed to happen, this is the way it's supposed to behave, you're supposed to comply, you're expected to comply. If you don't comply, then you're the black sheep. Right? Nobody questions whether what has been asked is it fair? Is it still relevant? Because it might have been, certain things might have been relevant at a particular age. The age is gone. Has somebody reviewed it? Say that, okay, this was set at that age. Now it's a different age. Does it still apply?
Yeah.
No, but we just follow.
Yeah.
And one of our professors in Bachelor's College used to say, "You're all sheeps," because one sheep comes and jumps over that fence, and all the sheep comes and follows over that thing.
Herd mentality.
A herd mentality. Even if there was an opening right next to it, because one sheep jumped, everybody said, "Oh, that's the way to do it." So we should all jump and not look at the, like, a few meters on the side, and there's an open gate over there. You could have actually gone from there. So where do you draw the line? Should we question? If you question, should somebody be regarded as an outcast or a black sheep, or should that actually make you think, hey, is there a point to it? Should you reconsider it? Should you give a benefit of the doubt, or at least for your sake do a sanity check? Just for your case, and you don't have to apply it to anybody else or change the society. At least for yourself, you can think, okay, does it make sense? And then if you can change certain behaviors for yourself without, if you're afraid to alienate people, then don't alienate people. But then you could potentially make some changes yourself that might lead to certain changes down the line. So it has to start somewhere, yeah?
Yeah.
So the question is of compliance, mindless, unquestioned obedience, compliance, herd mentality.
Yeah. Like I felt the same also because of this burnout and reintegration and things like that. I feel like there was a time in my previous role where I was like just working Monday, Friday, like Saturday, whatever, odd time, because Taiwanese time 24/7. It was really bothering me. But it didn't bother so much because I was continuously in that loop, so to say. But I knew it was wrong, it was bad. I knew all that, but because you didn't stop, you didn't have time to think or realize it. And then we had that Norway trip, and all of a sudden, when I came back, bloom, I just can't open my laptop. I start thinking, why on earth am I here? What am I doing? Like, for whom? Who is recognizing? Like, so many hours, so much of thought, so much of sleepless nights for what? Like, it just hits you and hits you really bad, and in such a way that you don't have any spirit, any energy left, and you can't even get up from bed or brush your teeth or drink a glass of water. It just takes everything from you. Like, so that's also when I feel you've been giving, and that giving is usually because there's an expectation put on you, maybe by yourself or by the environment
The peer
around, or the
pressure
peer
or
pressure, or
society or
yeah, because everybody works Monday to Friday 9 to 5, you also have to work Monday to Friday 9 whatever. Because everybody can wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you also have to come for meetings at 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I'm just giving a very simple example. And maybe I like to just work, then relax a bit, and then work. I don't want to have equal amounts during the week. Maybe that's how my working style is. So I think it should be more about the workload than actually, how do you say, seeing did you work Monday to Friday exactly from 9 to whatever. That for me, even that is actually suffocating because I have to comply, and that doesn't fit my natural rhythm, so to say. Yeah, so compliance, yeah, actually, so burnout.
So there was a discussion, right? So 8 hours you sleep, 8 hours you work, and 8 hours you have your life, so to say. So 8 hours of your work, you comply to your work rules, 8 hours of your social life, you comply to social norms, and then you have 8 hours to sleep, where you're just basically sleeping. So every conscious moment you're complying to something or the other. I'm not saying compliance is bad.
Yeah,
The
of
only
course, of course.
point is, if you're being compliant, once in a while review it. Is that what has been asked is still relevant or not? Just that question. If it's relevant, please continue. By all means, be compliant. But if it is not, then question it, or at least raise a thought. Hey, is it still relevant? Have a discussion.
That actually brings to a very interesting discussion. So, uh, if if it means that 1/3 of our life we actually contribute for our work, then it also makes sense that your work gives you energy instead of take energy from you, because you're actually spending, or then you feel really tired, exhausted. So then comes this concept called ikigai. Have you heard about ikigai? Like, what are your thoughts? Or
I've heard it from you, Ikigai. I'll try to summarize that. I don't
yeah,
know it
it's good.
completely. It's something that you love doing. It's something the world needs, and it's something that pays you.
Yeah.
Is that the three principles, or is there more?
One more. So you're good at,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
good at, your
yeah,
passion.
yeah.
So 4 principles.
Absolutely. So that's really crazy. Like, if you think about it, it's very practical, because on one side you can say go chase your passion, blah blah blah, but you need to make it practical, and that's the thing. So right now, I'll be very honest with you. Like, maybe there are passions that I want to pursue because that fits me better, but on the other hand, I'll be like, no, I need the security of a job. I need the flexibility that I have because I have a secure job. I love the flexibility that I have knowing that my salary will be credited. I have the flexibility that I have, that I still have something engaging and actively contributing that I'm a part of. That is also that the satisfaction that you get from actually doing the job. It's all there. Um, but it should be, how do you say, nicer if it was really my real passion. And of all the things, I would much rather be doing quality, so that's also there. So I'm already like one step really close. But even then, is that the real me? So to get that, then ikigai is really good. So basically, ikigai is the culmination of these 4 principles, as Bobby puts it. One is, what are you good at? So people will be like, hey, your presentation skills, I really admire it. Hey, your anchoring, I really admire it. Oh, what you've written, that's really good. Or whatever, So people might be complimenting you for some things. It could even be your cooking. It could even be your what you're wearing or your hairstyle or whatever. But there might be that very special thing that people say you are good at. That's one pillar. The other is what you love. So what you love, how do you know what you love? It could be that most of your time is dedicated to this thing. Let's say if you love interior decoration, then maybe most of your Instagram feeds might be about home and designing and things like that. Or most of your research, when you have some free time, you're googling, will be based on that, or the products that you feel like buying will be based on that. Or you understand? So what you love could be something that you spend your time or attention on, because you love that. That's why you're putting your attention there. And other than pain, but that's a completely different topic. Let's don't not go there.
Just to add to that point, so Ikigai, yes, it's one tool that you can use to figure out, okay, what is your passion, what are you good at, can you make money with it, blah, blah, blah. And the other side, let's say people who consider themselves as, like, I don't know, for the sake of argument, average, or say, you know what, I've got passion, but it's not really marketable or economical, then I would rather have a workplace which is a bit more rewarding or appreciating.
Yeah.
So then you start thinking, okay,
Yeah. Very
the
good
the
point.
way somebody is measured in work should change, right? So you just mentioned earlier that maybe your style of working would be to work, take a break, work, instead of having equally spaced workload.
Yeah.
That could be your style, right? So if you are able to do that exercise, and then you will begin to enjoy the workplace more.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
love
not
it.
it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
So the way, so there are companies which says, you know, you need to fill in your timesheet daily. Where did you spend your half an hour? Where did you spend your 1 hour today? Where did you spend?
Hate that.
It's so micromanagerial level that, you know, it sort of demotivates you, and you might feel, okay, I've spent 2 hours and I've actually done this amount of work, and then you start judging, okay, 2 hours and this much of will others judge me? You know, he had or she had 2 hours and only did this much, which another person I could have done that in 15 minutes. You know, so then there's unnecessary pressure that comes on you. Okay, what should I put? You know, where is the time gone? 8 hours has gone by. You know, so such metrics has to go.
Yeah.
And also workplace, you need to have different metrics to measure people as well, than having very olden values. I can't get other examples now, but okay. But I think you get the drift. Yeah, so that's what. So there was a colleague of mine from a previous company who quit his job. Together with his friend, they found a company. Yeah, corporate rebels. I'm not sure if I can mention their name here and things, but I'm
just thinking.
What they are doing is they are trying to make workplace more fun and more rewarding, right? And they have a lot of use cases. They even have books released that you can read. They've shared their principles as well. They started as 2 people. They've grown as well, so they're basically consultants or people who will come and, you know, help corporates get better at you know, treating its people.
Yeah.
So those kind of revolutions are happening, but then, you know, that's one set of company, you know, and the change needs to happen for the entire world. So if everybody sort of awaken and bring about this change, then everybody benefits.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so that is the emotional side or the environment side or the yeah. So it's still about love, but feeling loved, like being in that protected.
Or at least, I know,
happy-
it's about understanding that each person's requirement of way of functioning is different, and you need to let them be sort of in their natural environment, natural way of behaving, so that you get the best out of them.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's about efficiency. It's about
Yes.
making people feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
and that way, as a byproduct, you get the best out of them as well. It's a win-win strategy than going a very military regime and kind of saying, no, you do this, else you're going to get whipped at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So compliance was our topic.
I like that. Yeah. But on the other hand, I was also thinking about this ISO audit thingy, those kind of compliance things, like which also companies need, and that's also there. And again, even there, like you can still think of it. Should I just bare minimum score just to make sure I am compliant, or on the other hand, we can also start judging. Hey, people here are aware, or they know it, or they are trying their level best, or again, it's about the lines. Where do you divide? Is the gray area good enough? Oh, I'm wearing gray, sorry. Yeah, that kind of question also. So that's also about
No, no micromanaging, trust people. That's also one of the key things.
yeah,
When you're hiring
yeah,
somebody, you are doing a lot of, there are companies who does all the psychological tests. They do all sorts of intelligence tests, and they go through several levels of interviews with people. Even recruiters have done all sorts of personality types to judge or monitor or examine personality, and then you hire somebody in, and then you say, what, you need to work in this fixed box. You're a
oh
really
yeah,
smart person. I really like your
yeah,
creativity. I really like your out of the box thinking.
yes,
You are
diversity.
you are a great person. Your CV is good. Your capabilities are good, and that is why we are hiring you. And we just want to work you. We want you to work in the box. So those kind of things. So that needs to change. So trust and understanding that people are different, and that workplaces cannot have one single stringent rules. Focus on the output
Yeah, yeah.
and let people do what they do best.
I like that. Very well said, Bobby John. You are okay. So on that thing about people being unique and doing their best, I feel like okay. Again, I think I could be neurodivergent, um, and then because my entire life I've tried to fit, it has also caused that kind of how do you say,
The struggle.
the struggle. Yes, and because now going through a sad phase and burnout and things like that, now I've also started thinking, wait a second, I need energy first, just to be myself, just to take care of myself, just to exist, and then whatever energy I have left, let me put it to the thing that I want the most, and slowly spread out, so go from within to outside. And that has also made me realize that at the end of the day, uh, please don't try to live for other people. Like just go on with who you are, be your most authentic self, and don't go beyond that. Actually, it's the other way around. If it's all you have to comply, be in your own authentic circle or whatever the sphere of your aura thingy. Claim it, own it, and be unapologetically you. But you just need to make sure that you're not doing anything bad to anybody else. As long as you are happy, you can be LGBTQ, neurodivergent, whatever religion, whatever dress. Um, just be you. Don't hurt others. That's it. So if you stay love and above, then and be your most authentic self, then ta-da! The world will be
A better
a
place.
better place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our message is actually don't comply.
No, the message is not don't comply. Message is think before you comply. Yeah, does it make sense? Yes or no? Is it relevant? Yes or no? Is it draining you? Is it giving you energy? So review it in your own KPIs that apply to you,
Yeah.
and then comply. Because I don't think I would say that compliance is bad, because if it has a social benefit or a greater good, then by all means I would also comply. Yeah. So just think. We are only prompting you to think before you comply, and not blind obedience or blind compliance.
The thing is, for me, it has been the other way around. So I am coming from a place where I have always complied. And so for me, the lesson is actually the opposite. So there could be others out there who are like me, where we are coming from this side. For you, it was about coming from
So
that
so
side.
you over complied. So you need to bring it back a bit
Yes.
to center, and yeah.
Yeah, and spread out my wings and be who I am. That's where I need to go. So it's basically don't comply unless you actually also it makes sense for you, and the other way around, like comply unless there is like a proper valid reason why it just doesn't make sense, and then try to actually solve that, bridge that gap. So it's also about bridging, but it's also about being true to who you are. And depending on your situation, balance it out and don't let it sway one way or the other.
All right.
Then bye bye.
Stay love and above.
Love and about.
Bye bye.